Hey guys, let's talk about boundaries. In order to work with them, to understand them, we sort of got to understand what a physical boundary is, right? So if you have showers and people come in and out of the shower constantly, you say, hey, I need you to stay out. It helps me get ready for the day, right? That's my boundary. Do not come in until I come out unless it's an emergency, right? Now you put that boundary in and they keep coming in and out, then you have to instill a boundary. You need to say, okay, if you can't listen to the thing that I need right now, which is this boundary for you to stay out while I have space, then I'm going to have to put a lock on the door. So that's like the physical boundary, yeah? So sure enough, they come in and out and you go and put the lock on the door. The next part about that is going to ruffle up some feathers, right? They're going to be a little bit pissed off because, hey, they can't get into the space that they keep doing, that habit that they have to re-enter the space. They can't do it. So what happens in that case? Yes, there's a vulnerability in you placing a boundary. You need to be okay with what could come from that, right? 2, they need to respect it. And this is just a matter of, it's a pattern interrupter. So they probably will feel a bit annoyed by it, but hey, they're going to learn something from it. And it's not a bad boundary. It's quite a good boundary. It's a positive boundary. It's not negative, right? Doesn't harm anyone. The second aspect of boundaries, once you've got the physical ones down pat, are the energetic boundaries. Now, when I work with people in clinic, we have to work with boundaries. Boundaries are massive, especially if you've been suppressing a lot of things. I find that clients who suppress a lot have to do the most work on boundaries. They may have learnt to suppress in childhood, right, for whatever reason. And so when we work in clinic and we start to test through all the things that are getting in the way of, or telling us why the boundary issue is there, why they've been suppressing, what's been getting in the way of it, what's the context around it, what can we do now to improve that boundary, what new pathway can we create, and also at what cost, what is the thing that we need to know to create urgency to instill the boundary, to help express ourselves, right? That's important. Usually that is the loss of essence and that there's been an adaptation for a long period of time and they don't feel themselves anymore. They don't feel dropped in and they don't feel joy. So it's pretty urgent. Boundaries are quite important. So when we go through all of that in the session, there is always an energetic component to it. So within this session, we look at the physical, the structural, the biochemical, the energetic, the emotional boundaries, right? Or aspects to why those things are occurring. But we also look at and we use different tools, sound, crystals, oils, oracle cards, whatever else we need to get to help understand that pattern. To support it though, we can use those same things, but we could also use homeopathy. There is a beautiful remedy, and there's quite a few, that really define boundaries. When you're ready for boundary work and you've done work around it, these remedies help you instill it to a point where you don't really, it's like a really embodied feeling. So there's a defined perimeter and you know what you will and you will not accept. That is the beauty of it. And the power of homeopathy as well, because it is energetic, is shifting a vibration, and where everything is energy. So we need to shift the vibration in order for that physicality to anchor in, right? Is that you will feel ripple effects from other people. So for instance, I had a client who was working on boundaries. They had this remedy in support of their session. And on the day that they took that, they had that session around it and they took the first dose, their mum, they didn't know this at the time, had booked in her psychology session. So if you imagine that this issue this client was probably experiencing is a lot of, I know this, sorry. But what this client was experiencing was a lot of childhood stuff where they would have to suppress themselves and not get to express because of all these different reasons, right? So it was really a pivotal moment that the mum booked a psychology session to work on her stuff. 3 days later, that's when the client found out. They were in a conversation. Now, the thing is, in that conversation when they found out, this is the most beautiful part. The parent, the mum, had called them to say, hey, just want to let you know, I booked this session and I just want to know that I'm really sorry about some of the stuff that happened in childhood. Can you believe that? Isn't it amazing, right? So this remedy that the client took ripple effect, change the vibration genetically, generationally, whatever else, aurically, the connection, the thread. It shifted that thread. So when you do work on yourself, whether it's in session with me, work on yourself with yourself through any courses, workshops, retreats, whatever it is, or you do your meditation, etc., you are actually changing patterns, not just with yourself, but many different people, situations, experiences that are connected to you. So that's why when you heal something, when you work on something, you're shifting timelines. You're working with the past, you're working with the present, working with the future, but you're not just working in that linear pattern. You're working in a multi-dimensional pattern, right? All aspects, all dimensions of you and that are connected to you. That's why this work is brilliant. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. Boundaries are so important. Are you working on them now? It'd be really cool if you share below anything that you found that has helped your boundaries, or any insights that have come up with you, any stories like this. If you have any questions you want me to address as well through this channel, then please email them to me or write them below in the comments. And I love doing that. I love answering questions because that's when I really get to tap into energy, get a lot of intuitive nudges and messages, channeled messages that come through from that way of working. If you personally want help with boundaries, you want a remedy to support your needs, then book a session with me. I can help you with that. I see people face-to-face in Ballina in northern New South Wales, or I also do online sessions as well. So I can help you whichever way. When we work online, if you don't feel comfortable with face-to-face, I can do phone call. That's always just as easy. Sometimes we feel more comfortable talking on the phone like we're talking to a friend. That's what I find some people quite like. I personally like that too myself, like when I have a session. So anyway, I hope that has shed some light on boundaries and how important they are, and the potency and effect of working energetically has, the benefit it has on you and on all people. And stay tuned, subscribe if you want to hear more and want to know more, or reach out and let me know where you're at and what you would like help with.